You can't hurt me. If I choose to be hurt, it's because I choose to be hurt. And I will not put that off onto somebody around me, the blame. And therefore, it's very easy and comfortable to be around me because I take responsibility for my own emotions and for my own self. Good morning and welcome to my channel. My name is Shoshana, and I want to talk about triggers and how triggers can be the quickest path to our healing. Um, what are triggers, and what are they triggering, right? And why are they there? So as we go through life, especially when we're really young, we go through life and we're stimulated through life, through the contrast of the 3D world, through the contrast of the physical world, and we get hurt in so many places when we're really young, because when we are born, our emotions are wide open, and immediately we start closing those emotions off in places that we don't want to have to feel because it's too extreme, it hurts too bad, or it's overwhelming for us. And so we start closing our emotions off, or we go through life and we have traumas. And traumas don't have to be something that is big, like a car accident, or, traumas can be as something as small as somebody saying something hurtful to you when you are young and you don't want to feel that again because it came in so deep and so unexpected that you did not know how to deal with it. So you closed that area off. I'm never going to have to feel that again. I'm going to be strong, and then you close it off, and you don't even know what you're doing. It's like once you have something in your belief system that you put in there many times, you never go back to revisit to see if that is accurate. It's just something that you believe, and it's already set in automatic mode. My son got home, so I paused it for a minute and let him get settled. And so as we're children, when we have these places that we got hurt and we close them off and not willing to feel them anymore, we create these behaviors before we are even conscious of what we are doing. We create these behaviors or these mechanisms or these automatic programming that runs in the background. And anytime something comes close to one of those places that we don't want to feel, one of those Pandora boxes, one of those where we feel threatened, that if somebody's getting too close to one of those places, we're going to hurt. We have this system of avoidance that we have created. Something that has worked for us when we were children. It could be when we were children, we start crying anytime somebody came close to something so that they would stop then, and we realized unconsciously that this works. So every time somebody comes close to one of those Pandora boxes, we would begin to go into crying or become victims. And so then we go into victim mode, which is so we're triggered by, right? We have a trigger. Somebody gets too close to that little hurty place, and we have this mechanism. It's triggered. We are triggered. And then we have this mechanism that pushes whoever or whatever it is away so that we don't have to feel this. Now, what happens is that we become completely blind because it's already on automatic mode. It's in our belief system that we have put there before we were even conscious and aware that we did it. So we have this mechanism in place that is protecting this little box that we don't even know what's in there anymore. We haven't looked in that box. It's a blind spot. We are completely blind to whatever is in there. And we have this mechanism, this thing we built on top, that anytime somebody gets close, it pushes them away. It could be by a way of, it's an avoidance. It could be by the way of being explosive, like having a temperament, having a temper and exploding, getting upset or getting frustrated, or some kind of behavior that allows us to push away something external. So it is always external. So it's not looking inward. It is their fault. They did it to me. This situation caused me to have to get mad. You made me cry. You made me hurt, right? It's always you're looking outward and you're not looking inward because your emotions are yours. And the proof of this is that people react differently to the same situation. There could be one situation, 10 different people, 10 different reactions to the same situation in the room. So your emotions are within you. You are the one feeling them. It is the vibration that you are creating or connecting to in the external world, because vibrations, emotions, you can see them as vibrations, and vibrations are fields, and every single vibration is in existence simultaneously at all times, everywhere, all around us. So it is what you decide to connect to. That's why this platform, everything is playing out all at once. And according to your own perspective, what is in within you is how you are perceiving the world, right? The conceiving is just, there is no emotion in conceiving. Conceiving is just seeing things play out according to cause and effect. It's an input output kind of computer, massive computer that we're in, and things are input into the computer, and we are co-creators because we are interacting and constantly in interaction with everything and everyone around us. So we are co-creating the reality, but we are the perceivers. So we are the one that is interpreting whatever is happening in a specific way, either negative or positive or funny or maddening or whatever it is. And there are so many different ways to perceive it, infinite different ways to perceive what is happening. And what is happening is always simple cause and effect, cause and effect, cause and effect, cause and effect. Of course, there are layers and layers and layers on top of this. I'm saying it in a very simplistic way so that we can understand this point. And this point applies to, when you find a mechanism that works, when you find truth, it's like a pattern. It's like finding a pattern that you can play out in many different places. When you find a true pattern, it plays out in different areas of your life all the same. Of course, there are mystical aspects and different dimensions on dimensions, all playing out at the same time in the same space, time, matter, energy platform. And so we have this hurdy spot. We have a trigger. Something gets close and touches it, and then we have a mechanism that is explosive. That's our triggers, right? And our reaction. So we're triggered, and then we have this automatic reaction that we don't even know that we're doing. We don't even know that it is a protective mechanism, and that it is a weakness, right? Because it is a blind spot. We are protecting something that we don't even know what's in there anymore. And that if we have the capability for those emotions, then we have the capability to experience them. And because we're always afraid of our own emotions, we're afraid of what we're going to feel if we open that box, what's going to come out of it. And if we have the capability to feel those emotions, if those emotions are within us, then we have the capability of handling them and holding on to them. But when they are closed off, we are not only blind to them and don't see them and don't even know what's there, we are also limiting our life experience. Not only limiting our life experience, but we have these triggers and these reactions that are running our life that we don't even know that they're running our life, right? We get into situation after situation again and again and again with different people. It seems like the same thing keeps playing out, and we don't know why it keeps playing out. Why do I always find myself, have you ever found yourself saying, why am I always getting myself into these situations? I don't understand it. It's because you're getting into the situations because you have some kind of mechanism that is avoidant, that is false, right? Because if it's avoidant, it's not dealing head on with whatever's coming at you and allowing yourself to process it. You are avoiding it. You're pushing it away. So something in you is not aligned with cause and effect, not aligned and not dealing with all of the aspects of life. And you're not feeling all the flavors of life, everything that life has to offer, whether you perceive it as negative or positive, it's regardless. There are aspects of life that you are not experiencing because you are avoidant of feeling the depth of that emotion. And so you're blind and you're going through life with all of these little blind spots. And a lot of times these blind spots are built on blind spots are built on blind spots. And when you can get to that underneath blind spot and rattle yourself there and open up that Pandora box, all of the rest that was built on top of it just topples like dominoes. And it's so freeing. It makes you just feel open and able and capable, and you become so proud of yourself. And it's also really interesting because you're discovering yourself, things that you didn't know, and it's never what you thought. It's never what you thought. When you start opening up those emotions that you were blind to, you couldn't have known them because you didn't know them. So it's opening up new aspects of yourself. It can be very uncomfortable and it can be very scary as well to open parts of yourself that you didn't know were there. And not only scary, it can be shaming because you're ashamed of yourself. Because once you open up that and you see that mechanism that you had going and playing for your whole life, and all of the people that were able to see it when you weren't able to see it, you feel so naked and vulnerable. And all of a sudden you realize that people were able, just like you can see mechanisms in other people, and you're like, why do they act like that? Why do they have to explode like that? What did I say? And you see the ridiculousness in it in other people. You have those ridiculousness places within yourself, and all of a sudden they become apparent to you. So either you can keep on trying to hide them. No, I don't want anybody to see you, because your ego will begin to fight to try to hold on to those beliefs because it's the identity that you have had until now. Your ego feels like it is you, and your ego feels like it's losing control. It's all of a sudden it's wide open, and it can be very scary to feel so it's like a slug without it's like a snail without a shell. So you can feel very vulnerable and very wide open and almost transparent, and it can be uncomfortable. A lot of times within myself in the beginning, not anymore. Anymore, it's just like, okay, whatever. This is all about me and my process, and and I feel proud of myself for opening up and finding all those Pandora boxes. But I remember in the very beginning of this process, there were things that I would find I was just so ashamed of myself. How could I face people that could see these things? And after a while, what other people think, it just becomes so irrelevant. It just becomes something that it's not even something that you think of anymore. It's not even something it's not even on the playing table. You're so into my own self-healing, my freeing myself, and my own rising, and your connection with God, with the one, that what anybody else thinks in the whole world is, and you realize also at such a deep level that it is completely irrelevant what anybody else thinks. They have their own path to do. Let them do their work. What my work is, and everybody else begins to be players in your field, people that you are learning about yourself through the interactions with. And I know this sounds it could sound conceited, or it could sound very like inconsiderate, but it's not. It's the most considerate. When I am completely responsible and self-contained, completely responsible for self and self-contained, then I am also an attribute for everyone around me. And I am also an example for them of, what it looks like to be completely responsible for my own self and for my emotions. That means you can't hurt me. If I choose to be hurt, it's because I choose to be hurt. And I will not put that off onto somebody around me, the blame. And therefore, it's very easy and comfortable to be around me because I take responsibility for my own emotions and for my own self. I'm self-reliant. And it's easy also to be in a relationship with me because there isn't, it can be the most close relationship because it is always for the higher good. Okay, so now we understand what these triggers are and why they are there and how they were created. But how do we do the work with these triggers? How can we do the self work? Well, the thing with the triggers is that they are sitting right at the threshold of what it is that needs to be healed. So we can use these triggers in understanding what we just talked about. We can use these triggers to our advantage because we know that right there at that very point that I am triggered, right before the reaction, there is a portal into whatever it is that I closed off and that I don't want to feel. And so how do we work with this energy? So when we are triggered, we have to recognize, we have to start beginning to recognize, okay, I'm triggered. Okay, I'm feeling, because our automatic has been playing for so many years that we don't even realize that we were triggered. We go straight from trigger. It's like touch, blah, and we spit out all of whatever it is that our reaction is, whatever behavior that we have there. So you have to become very aware, especially if we're going into a situation that we know that there are triggers there. A lot of times with family or people that we know that trigger us. And so if we can start thinking about it beforehand and break it down and start recognizing in the past, okay, what happened there that I was triggered? Why was I triggered? A lot of times it's going to be very blind and kind of foggy, and we're not really going to see why or how, or we're going to get into the story again like, well, of course I got mad. It was because they did this and they did that. And so we have to remove ourselves from the story and realize that there's something there under the surface, because wherever, possibly they are not healed and they're coming into your space unhealed. Most likely they are not healed. Most of the people in the world are not healed. So, but that is not your responsibility. It is their responsibility. You are your responsibility. So let's get that off the table. You don't have to fix them. And in you healing yourself, first of all, you're going to stop that dynamic in its tracks. Therefore, once you realize what it is that is triggering you and why it is triggering you and what it is coming to hide from yourself, what you're hiding from yourself, or what is in that Pandora box, you're going to stop that dynamic, because they will not be able to trigger you anymore once you open up whatever's in that Pandora box. Once you open up and look at it and deal with it, whatever they're coming at you anymore won't trigger you, because there's nothing there that you're holding from not seeing. In fact, they will empower you, because every time they come at you with the same, you're going to be able to see right through it, because it's not triggering you anymore. It's exactly the opposite. It's an opportunity for you to learn even more about this aspect that has been closed off to you until now. And you will look forward to meeting with the person that once triggered you, because every time they're going to open up this box and you're going to be able to look at new aspects within. And within doing that, you are going to be healing them as well, even though it is not your responsibility. That is a side effect or a natural cause and effect. Once you're not triggered anymore, it makes them have to look at themselves. Wait a minute, what's going on? Because the dynamic has changed now. And so in healing yourself, you are also healing those that are around you as an after effect, as something that wasn't intentional. You don't intend to heal them, intend to heal yourself. Because if you're coming at somebody, oh, look at you, you're unhealed in this place, and look at this, and you need to fix this, it never hits somebody in a good place. But when you can come and talk about yourself and the places that you've healed, and they can connect to that from an unthreatened place, because you're speaking about yourself. You're not speaking about them. You're not putting them down. You're not showing them, look at you, you're so crappy and I'm so good. You're looking at yourself and being honest about yourself, and that inspires the other person. Not only do they feel unthreatened, so now they can look at themselves because they're not being attacked, but it is also being vulnerable and strong at the same time. You're showing those aspects of self. And so if you can start coming into the situation knowing, okay, there may be a trigger here, I may be triggered, I am not going to react no matter what. That already stops the automatic mode. It already stops the mechanism from playing out. Maybe at first you won't be able to even access that Pandora box that's so closed off, but you did stop the automatic reaction to it. And it's not stop it for a little while and then come snide around this corner and react to it, or wait for that person behind the corner so that you can jab them with some kind of, not that kind of letting go. It's really, truly letting go and allowing, and it's going to be so uncomfortable. When your automatic is to react, to go into victim mode, and all of a sudden you're like, it's going to take everything in you in the beginning just to stop the momentum of the reactive modes that you have. But it's so empowering when you manage to do it. And if you didn't manage to do it and you held out just for a few seconds, you already stopped something. Even if it's just like for a few minutes, and then you had to explode anyway. So it's starting to react differently. It's a shift. It takes time because the neurons in your brain are wanting to fire together. They're used to firing. It's going to be like something. It's almost like it is an addiction. It's a way of behavior that you're so used to behaving. It's an addiction. And so it takes everything in you to change that. Because now, not only are you weaning this path that wants to fire, it wants to go down that same route. You've always gone down this route. It's nagging at you. This is the way to go. It's like, you can see it as like an entity in your mind nagging you, telling you this way, this way, this way, trying to pull you, lure you down the path that you know is wrong with another part of your brain. It's inner conflict. And you have to hold, just knowing that, okay, I'm just going to hold. I'm not going to react, and get to the end of the evening without reacting at first. You've already changed the dynamic. You already know that you are capable of it. And so it's changing that. It's changing your reaction to it, holding. And if you did react, be easy on yourself. This is a process. You're doing the best that you can. And beating yourself up isn't going to help at all. If anything, it's going to make it worse, because the lower you get, the further there is to lift. So just know it's okay. I did this time. Let me take the results and look at them and learn from them, and take notes for next time. And then just keep doing the best that you can. Keep doing the react different. And another way to use the triggers is, you're triggered, you don't react. You don't react, or you react differently. You don't react like you typically react. And it's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to feel like, it's like it's flowing through your body. Let that, it'll feel like this, a tingly wave that flows through your body when you first, it's almost like you get white brain. It's like your brain wipes out and you get this tingly coming through your body. Just let it go through your body. It's so uncomfortable, but it is opening up your capabilities. It is making you uncomfortable because you are reacting different, because now that Pandora box that was threatened is now, it's starting to lose its hold. And then you can trust the process that Pandora box will begin to open on its own at this point. If you want to further the work, you can allow whatever that other person is saying to you to come into you. Allow it to come into you and actually see what they are talking about. Look at it. Look at it. Allow whatever emotions to come are going to come. Allow them. See what thoughts it starts pulling up. It's going to pull up thoughts from early childhood. You're going to have things coming up to the surface. Just be in allowance. Be in allowance, be in flow, and you can trust that that healing is going to happen on its own. Now that you are capable of changing that reactive mode, you are forced to deal with it. Now that you're not outwardly spewing your poison on the world outwardly to get them away from your Pandora box, now your Pandora box, it's starting to be able to be touched. And if it's starting to be able to be touched, the crust is going to start thinning and cracking, and those emotions are going to come out. They're going to be accessible to you, and it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. It doesn't have to hurt for a long time. You can hurt, and then you get over it really quick, and then you're capable of also entailing those aspects of yourself. You can actually look at them with love and say, okay, you are a part of me as well, and kind of integrate it into you. And so there's so many ways to do the self-work and the spiritual work, that using the triggers and changing your reactions is one of the quickest ways, because those triggers are sitting right smack on what it is that you're hiding from. It's sitting right smack on one of those sticky points. Otherwise, you wouldn't be triggered. It goes hand in hand. So the trigger is a key. It's going to be one of the quickest paths to open up whatever it is. And whatever it is that you are hiding from yourself and have been hiding from yourself, aspects of self. And we're always hiding from ourselves because we are afraid of feeling those emotions. We are afraid of our own expansion. We are afraid that we are not capable to contain all of those big emotions, or we're afraid of our own power. And just know that if it is within you, you have the capability and the ability to handle it. Otherwise, you wouldn't have it. Otherwise, it wouldn't be showing up in your life as well. So now's the time. So I'm sending you guys so much love. Thank you so much for watching. I love you. If you would like to speak with me one-on-one to work through anything that you're going through, to get some perspective and kind of look at it in a different way and a different light, look at your triggers and see maybe what's hiding under the surface, my contact information is below in my website. Feel free to contact me. Thank you.